Hey, welcome to my channel. This video is a VOD review I did with one of my students. If you would like to get a VOD review for free, just go into the description of this video so we can get one started. Any rank, any role. I would love to help. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. Enjoy the show. So, this happened where we killed Tahm Kench, and it was a point where there's basically two options that we could have went for after we kill him. You took the option of, okay, I want to back, so I'm going to push this wave in. And in my eyes, that wasn't the best option you could have taken, and there's a lot of little things that we can talk about that on why. The first thing that we see here is that he has more minions than you, so this thing will automatically push towards you. So you will naturally lose less minions than him because he has more minions. There's also other things, like he doesn't have TP. In all cases, this is usually just better for it to push into you. Because he doesn't have TP, he has to walk back to lane and then push it into you before the tower, before the minions get to your tower. But you'll probably return back to lane, have full HP, and he will lose a lot more if you just let it push into you. So anytime we have a wave, or anytime we kill our laner, let's ask the question, should I push this wave in or should I not? And just look at the minion count, where the wave is, make a good decision of, hey, if this guy doesn't have TP and the wave is pushing towards me, I can just back and he loses all of this. In your case, you just push the wave in. That's naturally what most people do because you just want to back, and after you push it in, it'll bounce back to you anyways. But you actually didn't get this wave to crash fully, which can be a bad thing to happen the higher elo you go. You'll see that the wave stops right here in front of his tower, and this freezes it. This is gonna start to freeze. If Tahm Kench was smart, he would be able to freeze this on you and you would lose more and you would probably force the TP. So we just need to make sure that this wave crashes, or the wave got pushed into you.
I always auto resolve to pushing the wave into the tower.
It's not a bad rule to go for, but once we start getting into higher elos, once we start trying to understand more complicated concepts, this is one thing that we can just ask a question every time we kill someone. Do we want to push the wave? Do we not? You know? And it's very easy to figure it out once you ask that question, you know? Also, another reason why this wave didn't crash is because I think you were just scared about losing these 2 CS. You had your Q back up, and if you just started queuing these minions, it would have probably crashed, but you got scared and you wanted those 2 CS. If you just don't care about these 2 minions and just try to let it crash, I would say it's 100 times better because you let a wave crash into their tower and it bounces back to you. It's just better wave management overall, because if this doesn't crash, if Tahm Kench was smart, you would have to stay or you would have to force the TP, which is bad on your part.
I think I tend to autopilot a lot when I play games.
I think a lot of people have that problem, and it's just about asking those questions, you know? It's all about asking those questions, what you want to do, and when something happens, can we ask another question on what should we do next, you know? Let's move on to talking about another place where it's the same thing, where we killed the laners, or we killed Jax and Tahm Kench this time, and it was also another question where, hey, can we push this? Should I push this wave or should I not? Also, there was some other questions that we're going to talk about after this, but let's just watch what happened. So basically, you guys got into a 2v2, and the 2v2 was looking really good for you. And I think you killed both of them. You got the double kill. And at the end of this, you can see that the wave is naturally still pushing into you, and the next wave is coming, so it'll freeze right here. You can make the decision of either A, not pushing this, or B, pushing it. You took the option of B. We kept going further, and then we greeded for turret platings. And we're going to talk a little bit about why it was so greedy, and also what happens because you took this greed. Because there is something that happened when you took this greed for this turret plating that kind of made it really bad for you. Because, let's think about this. We got 2 kills. We're getting some free CS right here. We're probably at, 1,000 gold or, probably 1,000 gold at this point. So we know we can back here after we push this wave. I don't know if I wish I knew. I wish I knew how much gold you had in your pocket, so I could know if you were waiting for you're waiting for an item. Yeah, you're waiting for your eclipse. But I don't.
I can assure you I was not thinking about the eclipse.
Okay, but you greeted for this turret plating, and we're gonna see that after you greeted for this turret plating, stuff happened, and it basically got you killed. And you're gonna see that now you're kind of stuck in lane because you need to push in the wave in order to back, because you can't really back unless you push in a wave. It'd be really dumb if you didn't push in a wave after a back. But you're gonna take a bad trade because Tahm Kench catches you off of his ult, I'm pretty sure. Like, at this point, you should also back right here. Like, this is another point where you should back. You're probably still sitting on like 1,200 gold or something, probably around 1,000. And we still didn't back. And then later on, you take a bad trade with the Tahm Kench, and Jax comes, and you're dead. And this could have all been avoided if you just took a back earlier. And let's think about what happens when we back. Bunch of cool things that happens when we have back. We can get item advantage, we can get HP advantage, we can get wave advantage, and we can get mana advantage. We can get all these advantages if we just back. But now that Tahm Kench returns with more items, now that Tahm Kench returns with full HP, you are still full HP as well. But let's try to keep our lead even further by just taking a quick back, getting that item, and having an easier time in lane. Because it's like, we're sitting on gold, and I know you probably have enough gold for Eclipse here. And it's like, you had 2 points where you could have just backed. We literally just could have backed and come back into lane. At this second point where we push this wave in, and we got Tahm Kench low here, think about this. You got him low, we push the wave in. What does Tahm Kench need to do in order for him to get his HP back? He needs to back. Yeah. So that means he needs to push this wave into us. And if it doesn't reach our tower, that means we can freeze on him. And now he loses more. Do you see how that's even a better decision just by taking a free back, you know?
I think my thought process was, for the plates, I'm just saying something I can grieve for this. I have TP, I can just back TP, and then I don't lose anything.
I was going to talk to you about that. You could definitely still greed for this plate, but you should just TP back. If that would happen, if you did want to get the plates, I would have said you should have TP'd back, but you didn't. You didn't even TP, you didn't back at all.
I was thinking about, I can tower dive this Kench. He seems pretty low. I've killed him. I think I was playing like I had backed and already gotten my items from the last 2 kills, but in reality, me and Kench are like only 600 gold apart.
Yeah.
When we should be like in items, and I was thinking, okay, I mean, I just won that 2v2, 4 kills. I should be pretty strong. I should kill this guy. And then after he pushed the waves, I know Jax is coming. I'm like, I'm just gonna win the 2v1. Trust.
Mm-hmm.
That was my thought process.
Yeah. And I think if you did have your items, I think you win that 2v1 each and every time. I feel like you can win this, you know?
Yeah,
if you have your items.
Get Triumph, and then beat the shit out of Jax.
For sure, for sure. Let's move on. Let's talk about another point where I feel like you just have trouble knowing when you can back and when a back is really good for you. Because I already talked about it a little bit before. Backing isn't only just for items. We're going to talk about that because in this point, you probably didn't have a lot of gold for this back, but that doesn't matter. Backing also gives you advantages in HP, it gives you advantages in mana, and it gives you advantages in items. You're going to see that in this point in the game, we're going to stay in lane super long. You can see that you're going to take a really bad trade with Tahm Kench. This is the point where I was talking about he took you under tower, and you took a really bad trade with him. And it kind of screwed up your plans. But if we just take into consideration, this guy doesn't have TP, he doesn't have Ignite now, and we're pushing a wave into him. And that means after this wave, we can just, oh, I have a back timer. I can just back for my HP back. And this guy still needs to push in a wave in order to back. So it can be really helpful just taking really good backs like this. And I feel like you just don't see it. And you just walk into his jungle, place a ward, and then you just keep playing lane. But you can see how if you just take it back here, this is also a cannon wave. So this will take even him longer to push this wave into you, and he probably won't be able to push it into you as fast as you might think. And you probably will return into lane before the minions even crash into your tower, and you could freeze it on him. If we have this situation where we're pushing a wave into him and he trades with us and we take a bad trade, we can just, and if he doesn't have TP, we can just take that bad trade, push the wave in, and then bada bing bada boom, we back in, we have health advantage, not item advantage, but most likely health advantage and mana advantage, and we can probably win the next fight. But is there any questions about that?
I mean, yeah, but if I did come back to lane, he would just like play back, and like what am I supposed to do if he just sits back and just kind of just sits there, and like do I just push the wave into him? Do I slow push?
We're gonna talk about that, because that's actually the next thing I want to talk to you about. So in the mid game, this is around mid game because you guys are like level 9, level 10, whatever. In the mid game, it's pretty useless to start slow pushing, because we have so many levels that Tahm Kench can generally fight you in your wave, and it really doesn't matter too much. You also won't lose too much. It's honestly better just to start leaving lane more, or for like warding, or to start fast pushing into him so you have that prio. We're just kind of sitting in lane after this back that you take here. You're gonna walk back into lane, and we're just wasting so much time sitting in lane after this. Like, we don't have to poke him, and like you can like, and we're gonna talk about this now, where this was a perfect time to actually start a proxy, and you can even create a bigger advantage from it because he has to tower farm, and also you will gain even more tempo. Here's how we can spot that we have a time for a proxy. So a proxy is generally really easy to spot when we know where the next wave is, and we can't see their wave, you know? It's not possible to see their wave. We can see
our wave, though.
But we can see our wave, and if we know anything about this map, it is equivalent. Whoopsies, my bad. Hold on. It's equivalent, so this wave is exactly where this wave is. All we need to make sure is that we get behind this tower before this wave gets into the tower, because that's when we can actually start the proxy. If the wave hits the tower, it'll most likely get aggroed on the minions on the tower, and it'll be really hard to start the proxy. But I don't think actually this moment it was a good time. Actually, no, you probably could have made it if you started walking towards there, because they'll only unaggro off of you if you go too far away from them, but also they'll unaggro you if they spot a minion, but their spot range is pretty small. But you can see how you can just walk through this guy. This guy needs to take care of this. If he doesn't, he just loses it all. And is he ever going to fight you? Absolutely not. If he fights you, you probably win, you know? This is a perfect time where you can just walk by him, and we can just start a proxy right here. And with this proxy, do you know why proxying is so good?
Because it means you take out a wave, and that gives you an extra 30 seconds of free time, right?
Yeah, exactly. As you proxy, you have even more tempo because you're taking a wave faster, or like in a better timer than him, because he's too busy taking minions here, but you're taking minions right next to his tower, meaning you have more time to roam, more time to ward, more time to back, and it just puts you in such a perfect position where this guy has no tempo, but you have all the tempo in the world to do whatever the hell you want. And we can mess with the jungler, we can do whatever, we can go gank mid, we get so much more time because of this. All you need to do is make sure that it doesn't hit your tower, or it doesn't hit the tower, the minions don't hit the tower before you start it, because if it hits the tower, they're probably going to get aggroed, and etc.
Yeah, but I was just thinking, wouldn't it be better to try and deny him CS, because then he's going to start equal farming with me. I'm not denying him XP and gold.
In my eyes, I wouldn't care if this guy farms for free. It's overall already hard to deny this guy CS, because you're naturally slow pushing the wave. You were slow pushing the wave into him, but we should just start fast pushing, so we can. It's better to have more time in the mid game so we can leave, because we're already secured our win in the laning phase. We don't really need turret platings is about to drop at this point, and it's like it'd be better if we just give support to our team more at this point in the game. in some type of way, in tempo where we start proxying, in warding so we know where the jungler is, in maybe roaming mid to get some kills in the mid lane, or maybe even going all the way to the bot side. And we can do that if we do a double proxy. So if we proxy this wave and then go around this turret and proxy this wave, we can back and then go into the dragon to fight for this dragon if you don't have TP. I think your TP is coming up, so it's okay. You can see how this gives you so much more options to help your team out. And in my eyes, Tahm Kench, if he gets more items, he's not going to carry. That's what I feel like, at least. And I see his build, and his build is stupid. And like, I don't know what this is, but yeah. This is where I'm going to talk to you about slow pushing, because, or at least, yeah, slow pushing or just wave management in general. In mid game, where we hit around level 7, 8, and 9, or 7 and up, people have substantial enough wave clear where they don't have to worry about slow pushes anymore, and you're wasting more of your time just standing here, slow pushing a wave in, rather than fast pushing. And this was actually even worse for you. We're gonna see why in a second, but at this point in time, we shouldn't be slow pushing anymore. We should just fast push these waves in, and we can accomplish more things around the map. We can even rotate and go to this mid lane here. After we push this wave, we can rotate, go in the mid lane, because he has still 2 waves before we need to return back to lane, and we also have TP coming up, so we can also go mid lane or just walk to drag, then go back up top. But it really doesn't matter. This actually caused you not to be able to help your team out in this scenario, because you have TP up, this guy doesn't have TP, we're slow pushing a wave, dragon is coming up, and since you're slow pushing this wave in, they started taking the drag. I know Udyr is not there, but Udyr is coming, and Sona is also coming. You can see there's numbers going around here, but if you just fast push this wave, I guarantee you can TP for this fight and probably win. I would say you could probably win. You have your, what's-his-face coming, you have Vel'Koz coming, you have you coming, and this will be a 4v4. It's more of a flip of a coin, but you can see how this can help your team out more, and you can also help secure a drag. I don't know what their HPs are at, I don't know what their items are at, but for the most part, when I see this looks like a great TP, and this can screw up the bot lane, you know? That's your target, screw up the bot lane.
Yeah, it actually makes a lot more sense, because I'm playing Aatrox right now. This is I spike hardest around like level 9 to level 11. Like level 13, level 9, that's my hardest spikes. So I need to be helping the team in team fights also. That's also where I'm best in, not sitting in the side lane, hitting a tank that's just going to regen to full.
Yeah, I agree with you. It feels very useless being up here. Just like, we're getting these small little wins where this guy's got to carefully CS, but let's just push this wave in, TP for this bot fight, probably win it, because we're super far ahead.
I think I was looking at, like, the proxy thing, I was looking at it wrong. It's not for creating an advantage in your lane, it actually kind of does slightly the opposite. It's about creating an advantage in the rest of the game. But
yeah, it is.
Proxy farming like a few waves doesn't do anything to really help your lane, but like you can go bully someone else, and then that helps your lane, I guess.
It helps, well, it does help your lane because it makes them not get any tempo, so they can't do anything. They're stuck. That's what makes it really good. It means that they're stuck, and while you proxy farm, yes, you can help more around the map, so you can become more useful than, you know, farming, which, you know, is way better. And also, it's like this. If people do come up to you, like if a Sona comes up to you or the Udyr comes up to you, it's like, it's still really good, because they're sending more numbers just to stop you, and then now our team has more space to do other things around the map, like go for drags, like go for Rift Heralds, or whatever. So it opens up the map. It really opens up what your team can do, and maybe it can help them pull off some pressure from them. But let's talk about this first team fight thing, where when you talk about targeting, over here, where the Lux is about to die, we have Jax and Sona coming down to this fight, because we're about to fight this. But after this Lux dies, we're gonna fight the Jax and the Udyr, but we completely split off from our team. You can see this already. Like, we split off completely from our team, and we're just trying to kill this Sona, which is not bad. I don't really hate this too much, because if we kill the Sona, that could be really good. but it took us so long to kill the Sona, and I don't think we didn't even kill her at the end. It's way better just to target this Jax here and fight this in like a 3v2 format, and like we're all targeting one champion and we can probably kill him, because you can see Jax is kind of healthy right now, but if we have you, Caitlyn, and Udyr all pounce on this guy, I'm pretty sure we can kill him, and then we can turn on the Sona. So let's not make it like a flip of a coin. If you don't think they can, or like if you think they might be able to win this, it doesn't matter. Just fight with them, you know? Fight with your team. That's kind of like the gist of this. Fight with your team. This is way better just to try to kill this guy. Sona is obviously going to start healing him, but I don't know if, as long as you guys can support this Caitlyn, because you have so many knockups. You also have your W, which will stop him. You also have Udyr also has a stun. I just feel like you guys can kite the hell out of this guy, and Caitlyn will be able to kill him. Well, because
he's like hard griefing by jumping in there. I'm having a look at this. Yeah,
I believe so as well.
In no world does he win that, but like,
because like Caitlyn can place a trap right here. Udyr can fucking stun him. You can knock him up. You can use your W to bring him back. You can do so many things to stop him from killing this Caitlyn, and this Caitlyn will start pumping numbers on him. We took a really, I feel like just absolutely stupid TP. I don't know why you TP'd here. You just TP'd towards the top side. Absolutely wasted it, and it did nothing for us.
I've heard that it's a good idea just to TP to like just waves, just to not miss it, because it's such a short cooldown.
Yeah, and like your first TP, your first and second TP, it's pretty okay to like TP your tower or TP to the minions if you want to not lose tower. But I feel like TP is more of like a safe, like a bailout. So if you take a bad trade in lane and it's like, and it's pushing towards you and it's going to crash into your tower before you can get back into lane, you just TP. Or if you take a bad trade and it's pushing towards him, you just back TP and then continue playing the lane because you have full HP.
I've had experiences where I've pushed in the wave. I've killed him and pushed in the wave, and then I back, and then I can walk in. And I do it again, and I back, and then I just end up never using TP for the entire laning phase.
Which I feel like is okay, but you can definitely, if you want to do more of a lead, like gain a lead from your TP for like your first TP in a lane, you can do it right after you push in a wave. So like you push in a wave, you take a TP back into lane. This makes it so this laner either has to push this wave in with his without item advantage, without HP advantage, without HP mana, or like mana advantage. So you're at an advantage already because you TP back into lane because you backed. But now, if they have TP, they are forced to TP. If they don't TP for this, you take some turret platings for free, or you might be able to tower dive them, you know?
Yeah.
So you can do plays with TP that makes it so you can get a lead from it. And like that's one scenario where they're low, you're slow pushing a wave into them, you're pretty low as well, so let's just take a TP, start pushing the wave in again, and maybe tower dive them, you know? And now our TP is like less useless, or we stole their TP because they made a mistake.
And then for late game, like after like 20 minutes, do I just TP to the sideline if I see a wave I can take or not?
I would just keep it. Honestly, I feel like it's so much better just to walk down a lane and then do a TP for a fight. But like if people are down, if the team is down on their side and there's like an open lane about to hit a tower like this one, if the team, if 4 of them are down, like Tom Kench is down, like these people are down, you can TP to this wave and then take a free turret. But in most cases, I'd rather you just walk down a lane and then TP for a fight. And if you need to protect a wave, like protect a tower, TPing to it is fine. But just a TP to a wave to like take a wave, I feel like is not worth the TP at this point. Let's talk about another team fight thing, or not a team fight thing, but an aftermath of a team fight. Yeah, this is the team fight that you guys had. You won it. You won this team fight. But after this team fight, we chose to ditch our team and go bots or topside, and I don't really like this decision too much. And I understand, like, you want to catch this wave and you want to push this out because that's kind of like your job, you know? That's kind of what you have to do. But, and honestly, I mean, it's also like your Udyr needs to be here. This guy just respawned, so I understand why he's not there. But you guys can just 4-man walk down mid lane, take 2 towers, and take inhib here. But you chose to go bot side, and something even worse happened because you went bot side. And it's like you're coming here for a few minions, you know? We're coming here for a few minions, like 2 waves probably. This wave and then the next one. And then something happens in the mid lane, and our Sylas dies, our Caitlyn dies, and now it feels like shit, you know? It feels really bad.
Yeah.
We just won a team fight, and there's still 3 members down, and just because we split off of our team, they got collapsed on, and then they lost the fight, and then all we got was a tower, and they basically got back into the game because of this. But if both you and the Udyr were just mid lane, just pushing down the wave here, you get free towers here, you know? You get free towers. Because they don't have frontline. They don't have frontline. Like, Sylas is not really a frontline character. And you guys are the only frontline. And they got collapsed on, and then they lose.
Would the player have been try and ping for Vel'Koz to come top to catch the wave, or just completely ignore it?
I would say yes, honestly. Because he was respawning, he would just take 2 free waves. It's okay, he could take some waves, and then you can be here, you know? I would say that would have been the play, for sure. This is where I say, like, honestly, you or the Udyr are the only engage. And also, this fight feels really bad. I just want you to watch this. So, I love this TP. TP is good. I really like this TP. It really puts danger, as you can see. They don't want to fight this anymore. Let's recognize where our team is. Yeah, and let's slow it down. Because we're rushing this. You can see that we rushed it. We rushed it a lot.
Yeah.
Let's just slow it down a little bit. Because all we need to make sure is this fight isn't really for kills. This fight is for the drag. So let's slow it down for this. We already have you can already see that we have the prio for it because these guys are so cut off from them. So let's not chase any further. Let's just back off. Try to, you know, play a little dance with them over here. Let's slow it down. And if anyone steps up like this Sona, then we can start trying something, you know? Just get this drag and then maybe we can turn, or maybe we just get this drag and we retreat. But it's like we really just don't have to rush this. We can just slow this down. We can just take our time because we have the advantage of the dragon right now. We have the advantage because we have all this space. But let's keep that space, dance around. Let's make, if someone oversteps, then we can do something and then get a good engage. That's kind of all I want from this, is I want you to get a good engage. Don't go for anything that, like, this feels forced. This feels really forced. Try to recognize what CC they have. They have a Lux bind, they have an R here, they have a W for a root. This guy has a stun, this guy has a knockup and a stun and an ult.
And his ult.
So it's like,
yeah, so they have...
but it's like, let's let them waste this shit. Let's let them waste this Q, you know, like this Lux Q, this Sona ult. Let's make them waste this stuff, and then maybe we can get a good engage, you know? Those are our threats, honestly. If we get stunned, it's most likely that we get CC locked and then we die. So let's try to, you know, dance around them, try to make them use them and try to bait them for them to use it, and then go in once they do. But I'd really appreciate it if you just did it.